It's time to get your checking account to zero with free checking from PenFed. That's zero ATM fees, zero balance requirements, and zero time spent waiting for your paycheck to direct deposit because you can receive it up to 2 days early. Open your account with just $25 and see how big zero can be. Apply online today at PenFed.org/free checking. Early direct deposit eligibility may vary between pay periods and timing of payer's funding. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed, insured by NCUA.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
Looking to give back this holiday season? Donate to the Army Historical Foundation. For 40 years, the Army Historical Foundation has ensured our nation never forgets the sacrifices of those who serve. As the Army's nonprofit partner, the foundation constructed the National Museum of the United States Army. The foundation's work also extends beyond the museum's walls, restoring artifacts, touring historic battlefields, and remembering all we owe to America's Army veterans. Donate today at armyhistory.org.
It's that time again when the mighty Memory Mobile goes clattering out of the barn, ready to set out on another historic trip back into the recent past, 1 year at a time. Stay with us for the music, the voices, and the sounds that turned us all on not so many years ago. I'm Bob Maxwell, and as you know by now, I'm just the chauffeur, because our real tour conductor is Gary Moore.
Oh, come on. Modesty ill becomes you, my friend. In any event, howdy, Bob. And in case you've been living at the bottom of a well, may I say to you, friend, this is Christmas.
Yeah, I see a little tinsel hanging out of your pocket there. Are we going to do a Christmas show, too, Gary? Everyone else does.
No, that is you and I, are not going to do a Christmas show.
Well, what are we going to do with all this wrapping paper?
Well, we are going to let some other people spread some good cheer and holiday greetings by bringing us their Christmas show.
A Christmas anthology.
Well said, my friend. We will bring you, friends, the very best of Christmas from the great nostalgic world of radio, plus a bit of cheerful and sentimental music to brighten our hearts and tickle our feet.
Do we have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Not if I can help it.
White Christmas?
No, that one I like, but we are going to swing Christmas a little more than that. To set the stage, Bob, the next voice will be Paul Whiteman introducing our opening number.
I've always had a swing section right in my band. Now, this year, we call it the Swing Wing. Tom Barr and Jack and Charlie Teagard, known as the 3 T's. Incidentally, they will be featured in our next offering, Christmas Night in Harlem. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. What is that noise? Hallelujah. Sound like Jackson. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Well, looky here. Hallelujah. Well, let me see. Say now, Jackson, last time I saw you, you were saying fairly well to Harlem. Oh, I done been to Harlem. I ain't going anymore. Well, you come back at the right time, man. It's Christmas up here. Christmas everywhere. Everywhere, Frank. Yeah, but not like it is up here in Harlem. No, well, tell me about it then. All right, here you go then. Every gal strutting with her bow, through the streets covered white with snow, happy cause everywhere they go, well, it's Christmas night in Harlem. Black and tan, feeling mighty good, that old colored neighborhood, here and now be it understood, it's Christmas night in Harlem. Everyone is gonna sit up until after 3. Well, everyone will really be lit up like a Christmas tree. Come on now, every cold black door, all we need is a mistletoe, with a kiss and a hidey-ho, it's Christmas night in Harlem. Woo-hoo! Look here, Jackson, what did Santa Claus leave you in your stocking? I got some candy, Frank. Oh, you must be sweet. What else? Some apples. Apples? A jar of kink-outs. Kink-outs? A couple of airplanes. Woo-hoo! And a steamer. Oh, something big. And my trombone. Oh, you mean a gold job yonder? Solid gold
Christmas
job.
Night in Harlem. Paul Whiteman and his orchestra. Well, music isn't all that bad, but I'm not too sure about the words.
No, I agree with that sentiment, but that was recorded back in 1937, and it was all the rage for white musicians to sort of put on a pseudo-black act, or what they believed to be a black act.
I guess all the big bands had a Christmas number or a 4th of July number that they would trot out of the trunk when the holiday came around.
Oh, sure, that was the name of the game. And by the way, Bob, did you get your shopping done on time?
You know that I'm one of those hateful people that manages to get all of his Christmas shopping done almost before November is over? Shopping early, though, does have one disadvantage, and that is those last few days before Christmas, just as the merchants get a little desperate, the prices sometimes drop.
That's right, yeah. Well, last-minute shopping is a national institution, and let me tell you, it provided an awful lot of mileage for an awful lot of comedy writers. However, we will now bring you Christmas of 1944, when Jack Benny and Fred Allen found their way to a department store together with a few friends.
Oh ho! So it's you, Benny. Hello, Freddie. What are you doing down there on the floor, Benny? Teaching the mice how to be rats? No, Freddie. I was tired from shopping, so I thought I'd lie down for a while. Shopping, eh? That's right. Brother, you could shop from now until 1980 and still not demobilize your wallet. You should talk. You're tighter than the hinges on the door of Inner Sanctum. Now, don't cloud the issue. What are you doing looking at neckties? Don't you crochet your own anymore? Well, to tell the truth, Freddie, between radio and pictures and managing the Jack Benny all-girl football team, I have a little time left for crocheting. That's softball team, isn't it? You changed softball, I'm sorry. Yes. Stay now. The Jack Benny all-girls soft football team. I'll get them both. That's what you get for having your bifocals on top. You see, you put them on top so you can read all the comedy lines. I know. They're great. Say, I saw your team... I got the bottom one so I can see what I'm whistling at. Let's go out with Little Women, though. Say, I saw your... We'll be here all night, you know. I saw your team play the other night, Jackie. Who was that shortstop? Her arms looked like buggy whips, and she had no calves in her legs. That was me. My regular shortstop was home having a baby. By the way, Freddie, what are you doing at the necktie counter? Well, I know several people with necks, so I thought I'd get them... something to rest their Adam's apples on. Oh, well, personally, I don't see anything here that appeals to my good taste.
Oh, you don't, Listen, Jackson, you took up my time, picked out a tie, so hand over the 59 cents.
Never mind.
And you bit my ankle.
Well, you can't charge me for that. I didn't like it. Listen, Jack, did you buy one of those 59-cent dish rag foulards as a gift? Oh, it's for a friend of mine who writes a lot. I thought he might like it for a pen wiper. I wouldn't wipe my razor on one of those. Just wrap up one for me, too, miss, just in case. You know, Freddie, I've been wondering what to get you for Christmas. Believe me, I've combed every basement. Oh, any little thing will do, Jackie. It's not the gift, after all. It's the spirit in which it's given. That's right. You know, I like you, Fred. Well, I like you, too, Jackie Wacky.
Christmas 1944. This is the Mighty Memory Mobile with Gary Moore and Bob Maxwell.
Bob, everything we say about Christmas has got to be a little bit corny, right? But
Yeah.
Christmas really is for kids. So here now are Fanny Bryce and Hanley Stafford as Daddy and the incorrigible baby Snooks. The year is 1939.
Table looks fine. Now, where are the cigars? Oh, here. I guess he'll fall for this layout, all right.
Hello, Daddy.
Oh, hello, Snooks. Oh, let's have a look at you.
Why did I have to put on my new dress, Daddy?
Because my boss is coming for dinner.
Why?
Well, we don't have guests very often, and it's good to make social contacts and fraternize with intellectual people. My boss is a very smart man, and I like to listen to his conversation. You understand?
Uh-huh. You're trying to get a raise.
Nothing of the kind, and I don't want you making any cracks when he gets here either.
I won't, Daddy.
Above all, don't say anything about his hair.
Why?
Just don't, that's all.
What's the matter with his hair?
Nothing. I'm just warning you not to make any remarks about it.
All right.
And listen, Snooks. You're not to come into the dining room while we're having dinner. Not even if my boss asks you to.
Why?
Never mind why. All I want you to do is greet Mr. Gordon and then run upstairs and play.
All right.
And now we'd better have a little rehearsal. I'll be Mr. Gordon.
Who's he?
My boss. I'll be my boss.
Huh?
I said I'm Mr. Gordon.
No, you ain't. You're my daddy.
We're just pretending. I want to make sure you'll behave nicely when Mr. Gordon comes. Now, I'm Mr. Gordon, and I'm coming in. Oh, good evening, Snooks.
Hello, Daddy.
No. Say good evening to Mr. Gordon.
Where is he?
He's not here yet.
And why should I say good evening to him?
You're not saying it to him, you're saying it to me. Right now, I'm Mr. Gordon, even though I'm still your daddy. And while Mr. Gordon isn't even here yet, you can say good evening to him because you're really saying it to me. And don't ask me if I feel all right.
Why?
Now, don't you start to irritate me, Snooks. And another thing, in case Mr. Gordon asks you to come in to dinner, I want you to say no thanks. I've already eaten. Now, let's try it.
All right.
Now, here we go.
Where are we going?
Nowhere!
Ah.
Now, let's try it. Oh, good evening, Snooks.
No, thank you. I've already eaten.
Say good evening first.
Why?
Because you've got to greet him. Now, let's try it again. Good evening, Snooks.
Good evening, Mr. Gordon.
Fine. Oh, Snooks, will you come in and eat with us?
Uh-huh.
No, I told you to say you'd already eaten.
I'm still hungry.
Just the
Baby
same-
Snooks.
Yeah, I
Very
used to
bright.
watch her do that show from Hollywood, and even though it was done on radio, she would be dressed up in full Baby Snooks costume with a little short dress and a bow in her hair, and she in that time must have been, I would suppose, in her 50s. But you believed her. You believed it was Baby Snooks.
Well, she was on the radio for decades, wasn't she?
Yes, indeed, easily. Now, here's a little rinky-dink tune that goes great with holidays, and this one is, are you ready? Irving Aronson and his Commanders.
Oh.
From the year 1926.
Everybody has some weakness, and so have I. Something I long for, I'm mighty strong for. It's my only dissipation, I won't deny. You would never guess what brings me happiness. Oh, I'm just wild about animal crackers, animal crackers. I can't live without animal crackers, animal crackers. Bears and tigers haunt me all day. And whenever I am at a swell cafe, say all I order is animal crackers, animal crackers. Firecrackers won't do. Goodness gracious, I'm no chump. I just bit off a camel's hump. Animal crackers, I love you.
Where do you get that stuff? But when I think of kid shows on the radio and holidays, I almost automatically think of Red Skelton.
Well, it's a funny thing, Bob. Christmas or no Christmas, whatever you ask for, that, my friend, is what we have.
Or vice versa. Or vice versa.
Visa. Anyway, here is one of Red Skelton's great perennial characters, the Mean World Kid.
Boy, with no light in here, sure is spooky. I'm not afraid, though. No, the grown-ups tell their kiddies sometime if they ain't good, the spooks will get them. I bet the spooks' mother tells them that if the little spooks is not good, Junior will get them. I'm not sleepy, so I could just want to lay here and wake and just sort of mosey and lazy around a bit, you know. Who's at the window? Who is it?
It's me, Junior, the Sandman.
Well, you ain't going to slip me no Mickey tonight. Get away.
Let me in.
Now, you get out of me bedroom. What do you want anyhow?
Oh, to put you to sleep.
Well, I don't want any of you, old Sand. I couldn't keep my eyes open all day. What do you put in that stuff, cement?
Yeah, well, you're the only little boy that ever complained about my service.
Oh?
But you wouldn't want to put me out of business, would you?
Well, you trying to retire me, ain't you? Hey, that sand of yours, it's no good. It just puts me to sleep, and I don't dream of nothing. 8 hours of me widow atomic life just wasted away.
Well, sir, I'll tell you what.
What?
I have some new magic post-war sand.
Yeah?
It will put you to sleep and make you dream of all the good things you've done.
Kind of silly to waste it on such a short dream, ain't it?
Then how about the dream sand of knowledge?
What's that?
You dream, and all the questions you've had on your mind will be answered.
Okay, if it's the same price as the other stuff, I don't want to pay that black market price, you know.
Oh, it's the same price as the other.
Okay. You did that, me, John boy. Let me have it right in the picture.
Now, open your eyes wide.
They open.
Some for the right eye, and some for the left eye. Now you're getting drowsy. Your eyes are starting to burn. Think of all the questions you wanted answered. Now go to sleep and learn.
I'm going to sleep now, Grandma.
And that, of course, was one of the great clowns of all time in one of his many, many characterizations, Red Skelton.
Who are we going to invite to our Christmas party, Gare?
Well, for beginners, we've got a absolutely unbeatable combination. Happens that my favorite gal singer in all the world is Carmen McRae.
Mm-hmm.
And here we have Carmen teamed up with Sammy Davis in a number that brings the holiday season to mind year after year after year.
That's nice. Now we're inside. Did you have a good time tonight, Carmen?
Oh, I had a wonderful time, Sam.
Well, good. Well, I figured it'd be so much nicer here than outdoors, you know, where the fireplace is going. It's nice, it's cozy, it's warm and nice.
Oh, yeah, I really can't
But,
stay.
baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go
But,
away.
baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has
Been hoping that you drop in.
so very nice.
I'll hold your...
'Tis the season for chicken fingers at Raising Cane's. Warm up with cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, and the real source of holiday magic, cane sauce. Happy holidays from Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Her hands, they're just like
My
ice.
mother will start to
Beautiful,
worry.
what's your
And
hurry?
Father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to that fireplace
So
roar.
really I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't
Well,
hurry.
maybe just a half a drink more.
Put some records on while I
The
pour.
neighbors might
But
think,
baby, it's bad out there.
say, what's
No
in this
cabs
drink?
to be had out there.
I wish I knew
Your
how
eyes are like starlight
to
now.
break the spell.
I'll take your hat, your hair looks
I
swell.
ought to say no, no, no.
Mind if I move in closer?
At least I'm gonna say that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my
I
pride?
really can't
Oh,
stay.
baby, no, to hold out. But it's cold outside.
Sammy Davis and Carmen McRae and Frank Lesser's Baby It's Cold Outside. I guess it is a kind of a Christmas song, isn't it?
Everybody else is playing carols on their show, and you say to yourself, well, what can I do that says winter and snow, but still isn't jingle bells?
It's something a little different.
So everybody thinks of the same thing that's different, and so they all end up doing Baby It's Cold Outside.
And speaking of different, here's your pal, Henry Morgan.
And Henry Morgan is different. There's only room in this world for one Henry Morgan. But we are lucky that we have him indeed. This is an excerpt from a Here's Morgan show, and it was something that he did just a day or two before Christmas, and it was, I believe, the year 1948.
Speaking of Junior, have you noticed how all the advertisements for kids' toys point out that the toys are real washing machines, real typewriters, real bear trap for Junior, comes complete with full directions on how to assemble and what to do till the doctor comes. We got another grand gift for kids. It's a small stage, little stage, and you get a set of toy puppets with blurred faces. Looks just like a real television show. This miniature set comes also with a miniature Hooper rating. It's just like mine. I saw an ad for a real carpenter's set for Junior, just like Dad's, with a big sledgehammer. And with it, you get a little book of instructions on what to say every time you hit your thumb with a hammer. It has real words, too. Just the kind Dad uses when he hits himself. Saw an ad for a real chemistry set. Hey, kids, lots of fun. Be your own pharmacist with this miniature drugstore. Just like the druggist on the corner, you, too, can be a chemist and make your own malteds. This chemistry set sounds like hope. He keeps, and then he waits and he says, then he blames the people because the jokes are no good. That's what I do. This chemistry set also, what do you say? This chemistry set also comes equipped with a toy atom bomb and a set of real loyalty questions.
Oh, that Henry Morgan. Is he really as cynical as he sounds on his programs, Gare?
Well, it depends who Henry thinks you are. Now, who Henry thinks you are is not always accurate. Henry makes up his mind very quickly about people. He decides whether or not he likes you, and if he decides he likes you, you may have the gold from his teeth. If he does not like you, you may have the back of his hand. I can only tell you the best recommendation possible is that he has more godchildren than anybody I know. Anyway, Bob, here's a Christmas routine from another generation. Now, this is one of the most beautifully absurd situations. What do you do when you get a Christmas game and you don't know what it is? The voice is Ernie Kovacs.
Here are the rules for Drungo. In each box you will find 33 green ping pong balls cut in half called semis, 11 blue simulated plastic squares called drilligs, 17 yellow rectangular markers called jundos, 11 pink wooden triangles called pink wooden triangles. 143 arrows with orange suction cups on the ends, 106 arrows with red suction cups on the ends, 113 arrows with Glen Plant suction cups on the ends, 2 arrows with steel tips dipped in poison curare. 1 deck of cards with pictures of famous Chinese rickshaw pullers of the early 11th century on their fronts. 1 large Drungo board with a catch set on automatic time lock. How to play. First, open the Drungo board when the automatic time lock goes off. Take out the 441 pieces and the rickshaw puller's deck of cards. Then disassemble the Drungo box and reassemble it, following the 30-page instruction booklet to form 1 Drungo board, a card table, 4 chairs, and a self-revolving automatic Susan for a centerpiece on which you can place fruit, nuts, or bits of candy for your guests. Any number of players may play Drungo. 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 13, or 106. Whole towns have been known to play. To begin, the player who rolls the highest number on the 11 pairs of dice, which you will find under the drilligs and red plastic triangles, goes first. He does not use the pair of dice, the 12th pair in the Drungo box marked high roller first. Should he use the high roller go first pair of dice in error, he will be penalized and will have to go second. Unless the person going first also used the high roller go first dice in his trial roll, in which he will go third. The highest roller going second and the lowest roller going first, unless the lowest roller has more than half the drilligs or 1/3 the pink wooden triangles.
Kovacs and the Drungo game.
Yeah, I've received several of those in my time.
You know, I actually, my stepsister did receive a little machine at one time that was supposed to march. It was plastic. And at the time, she was dating a mechanical engineer, and it took him all night, Christmas Eve, to put that thing together. But it does seem to me that kids' toys get closer to Drungo almost every season.
I believe that.
It was based on a piece that Ernie Kovacs wrote for Mad Magazine.
And I was amazed, Bob, that some of the most unlikely shows did a Christmas special.
I wonder if The Shadow ever had a Christmas show.
Well, why not? I'm sure they wanted people to remember anthracite blue cold when the weather got cold, huh? But you remember the austere, atmospheric world of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, a world of intellect, intrigue, and adventure? You know, you sort of get the picture.
Yeah.
But on Christmas of 1945, Dr. Watson, of all unlikely people, Dr. Watson dressed up as Santa Claus. And the quality on this tape isn't great, but here it is.
And now I'm sure our good friend Dr. Watson's waiting for us, so let's go in and join him.
Ah, there you are, Mr. Bartell.
Well, say, Doctor, I can see you're going to have yourself quite a Christmas. Big tree in the corner with colored lights on it. Where'd you get those? Table covered with presents? You must be mighty popular.
Oh, they aren't all for me, my boy. You see, I'm having a Christmas party tomorrow for my housekeeper's little nieces.
Oh.
I'm going to dress up as Santa Claus for them.
I'm sure you look very convincing in the part. By the way, Doctor, I brought you a little present. Here it is. I hope you like it.
Oh, that's kind of you, Mr. Bartell. I got one for you, too, but you mustn't open it until tomorrow. Here you are, my boy.
Thanks a lot, Doctor. And now, how's about tonight's story? Last week you told us you'd chosen an adventure with a lot of Christmassy atmosphere.
Yes, Mr. Bartell. My story begins on another Christmas Eve, many, many years ago. To be exact, in 1886. At the time the adventure occurred, I must confess I didn't quite understand what was going on myself. In fact, I never did make head or tail of it until Holmes took pity on me later and explained the whole thing. But I shan't try to confuse you, Mr. Bartell. I'll tell you the story exactly as it happened.
Right you are, Doctor. Let's go.
Very well. On that Christmas Eve in '86, I was standing in our Baker Street rooms dressed in the costume of Santa Claus. Holmes, his long, thin fingers pressed together, lay back in an armchair and gazed at me quizzically, while our housekeeper, Mrs. Hudson, stood by the door and...
Dr. Watson, you make a grand Santa Claus.
Doesn't he, Mrs. Hudson? Rather beer on, old chap.
Oh, I'm afraid it's a little uncomfortable. How does it look?
Oh, you look just like the old man of the Christmas cards, Doctor.
Yes, Watson. It really becomes you. The cheery twinkle of the eyes, the ruddy complexion, and the appropriate girth. Oh, a shame we can't obtain some snow and a sleigh and reindeer for you. However, I'm sure Mrs. Hudson's nieces will be very much impressed.
Oh, they will that, sir. And it's very kind of you, Doctor, to offer to come over to their house with me. With their father in the hospital and my sister at his bedside, it would have been a very miserable Christmas without you.
I should enjoy myself, but I think I'll take this beer off till we get there. That's it. You ready to leave, Mrs. Hudson?
I am, sir. Will I get a cab?
How far do we have to go?
Oh, Lexington Gardens, number 28. It's just off the Edgware Road, Doctor.
Not far, but bearing in mind my costume, I suppose we'd better take a cab.
Hi, sir. I'll get one.
Holmes, what are you going to do with yourself? I hate leaving you alone on Christmas Eve.
Dr. Watson is Santa Claus and Sherlock Holmes.
Isn't it the most ridiculous thing you ever heard? If for Christmas he gave Sherlock a little gift-wrapped package of laudanum, I imagine. Let me ask you another question. What was the most famous Christmas broadcast?
Oh, I don't think there's any question about that. That has to be Dickens' Christmas Carol, doesn't it, Gare? With Lionel Barrymore?
Yes. There was no one quite like him. He could be so corny and yet so warm at the same time. Lionel Barrymore was a man who knew exactly what he was about. He played nothing but Lionel Barrymore all his life, but he could play it in all shades. He could play it warm, or he could play it as an irascible man, but when he wanted to be sweet, he was sweeter than anybody, but never sticky. He had a great sense of restraint, and I think that is the heart of this show with Lionel Barrymore.
Christmas Day. 11, 13, 17, 7, carry 1. 4 and save 1.
Bob Cratchit.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge?
Stop that infernal caterwauling.
Yes, sir. 9, 15, 17, 21, carry 1.
Impudence. Singing their idiotic Christmas carols at my very door. Go somewhere else and bellow your blasted carols, or I'll give you in charge.
Sorry, Governor. It's an old custom at Christmas time, you know.
Yes, and I don't want any of your old customs. Take your fellow fools and go away. Christmas. Blah.
Right, sir. Merry Christmas anyway, sir.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. A Merry Christmas, Bob.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Fred.
God save you, Uncle.
Humbug.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle? Now, I'm sure you don't mean that.
I mean just that. Exactly that. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What reason have you? You're poor enough.
Well, what right have you to be dismal about Christmas, Uncle? You're rich enough. Now, Uncle, don't be cross.
Well, what else can I be when I live in such a world of fools? What's Christmas to you but a time for paying bills without money? Merry Christmas. A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. He should.
Uncle?
Nephew, keep your Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it, Uncle.
Well, let me leave it alone then. What do you want? A Christmas gift, I've no doubt.
I came to wish you a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
A Merry Christmas. Much good may Christmas do you. Much good it ever has done you.
There are many things from which I derive good by which I have not profited materially, I dare say, Uncle. Christmas among the rest. But I have always thought of Christmas time as a good time. A kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good and will do me good. And I say, God bless it. God bless Christmas. Hurrah!
Let me hear another sound out of you there, Bob Cratchit, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation. As to you, nephew, I wonder you don't go into Parliament. You talk enough nonsense.
Don't be angry, Uncle. I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. I've tried. A Merry Christmas to you, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year, too.
Humbug.
And a Merry Christmas to you, Bob, and the missus, and to Tiny Tim.
Thank you, Mr. Fred. Same to you, sir. Good day, sir.
Good day, Bob.
Nonsense. Twaddle. Blummery. Talking of Christmas and not 2 sixpences to jingle together in his trousers pocket. You there, Bob Cratchit. Come here. What are you doing there?
I was only putting a bit more coal on the fire, Mr. Scrooge, seeing it's so cold in there, sir.
Well, you put that coal back into the scuttle. A fire. A fire, indeed. I can tell you, if you use coal at that rate, you and I will soon be parting company, Bob Cratchit. You understand that? There's many a young fella like your situation, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. My fingers were getting a little stiff with the cold.
Then put on your mittens. There's someone at the door. See who it is.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This is the firm of Scrooge and Marley.
Yes, sir.
I should like to see the head of the firm, if I may.
Oh, very good, sir.
What is it?
A gentleman to see you, Mr. Scrooge.
Huh?
Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Marley's been dead these 7 years tonight.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey, guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun, too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino-style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere, and each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
I'm Scrooge.
Well, now, Mr. Scrooge, at this season of the year, it's only fitting that we who are more fortunate should raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. You may not believe it, sir, but many thousands are now in want of common necessities, and hundreds of thousands are in want of the simplest comforts, sir.
Are there no prisons?
There are plenty of prisons, sir.
And the workhouses? They're still in operation, I trust.
I wish I could say they are not, but they are, sir.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor, then?
Both very busy, sir.
Oh, well, I'm very glad to hear that. I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful cause.
No, sir, all these institutions that you mention are flourishing. But it's nevertheless true that some additional provision for the poor and the destitute must be made.
Nah.
A few of us upon change are endeavoring to raise such a fund, you see. And what shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
Oh, I see. You wish to be anonymous, sir.
I wish to be let alone. I don't make merry myself at Christmas time, and I can't afford to keep a lot of idle people and make them...
That was A Christmas Carol, the classic Christmas radio show with Lionel Barrymore. I guess that program must have been on the air for 25 years. Every Christmas, you look forward to Lionel Barrymore as Scrooge.
Well, we still have a little serious matter. Despite all the good cheer that radio could manufacture, not all of our Christmases were merry and bright. For example, do you remember these far-off little voices?
I can truthfully say to you all that we children at home are full of cheerfulness and courage. We are trying to do all we can to help our gallant sailors, soldiers, and airmen. And when peace comes, remember, it will be for us, the children of today, to make the world of tomorrow a better and happier place. My sister is by my side, and we are both going to say good night to you. Come on, Margaret. Good night, children. Good night, and good luck to you all.
Wow, that does come from the past, Gare. Princess Elizabeth and Princess Margaret. That must have been broadcast during the war.
If I'm correct, that was 1939, when Europe was at war, but we were not. And even for us, it was indeed an anxious Christmas.
I remember the Christmas of 1941. I was spending the time in Detroit and working. You remember doing Christmas shows live on radio, Gare, and you had to be there. There was no way you could transcribe them and send them in or record them or tape them or anything.
No, that's right, and everybody was very much in the Christmas spirit.
Especially the stagehands. It seems to me back in 1941, the President Roosevelt broadcast one of his famous fireside chats.
Yeah, he did. The war was less than 3 weeks old when President Roosevelt went on the air on Christmas Eve.
There are many men and women in America, sincere and faithful men and women, who are asking themselves this Christmas, how can we light our tree? How can we give our gifts? How can we meet and worship with love and with uplifted spirit and heart in a world at war, a world of fighting and suffering and death? How can we pause, even for a day, even for Christmas Day, in our urgent labor of arming a decent humanity against the enemies which beset it? How can we put the world aside, as men and women put the world aside in peaceful years, to rejoice in the birth of Christ? These are natural, inevitable questions in every part of the world which is resisting the evil thing. And even as we ask these questions, we know the answer. There is another preparation demanded of this nation beyond and beside the preparation.
The voice of President Roosevelt, Christmas Eve, 1941. I think we all took courage from that, as I remember very clearly.
And in 1941, the Roosevelts had a guest in the White House. Winston Churchill was here, and the day after Christmas, he addressed a joint session of Congress, and needless to say, he was brilliant.
I feel greatly honored that you should have invited me to enter the United States Senate chamber and address the representatives of both branches of Congress. The fact that my American forebears have for so many generations played their part in the life of the United States, and that here I am, an Englishman, welcomed in your midst, makes this experience one of the most moving and thrilling in my life, which is already long and has not been entirely uneventful. I wish indeed that my mother, whose memory I cherish across the veil of years, could have been here to see. By the way, I cannot help reflecting that if my father had been American and my mother British, instead of the other way around, I might have got here on my own.
The voice of Winston Churchill, Christmas, 1941. I guess, Gary, if Churchill hadn't been a politician, he could possibly have played Mr. Pickwick.
Yes, or Scrooge, for that matter, or Falstaff. Then he went on to Canada, where he addressed the Canadian Parliament. And this recording comes from December 30th, 1941.
When I warned them that Britain would fight on alone, whatever they did, their generals told their Prime Minister and his divided cabinet, in 3 weeks, England will have her neck wrung like a chicken. Some chicken.
come next.
What Edward Murrow called Churchillian prose at his very best.
Indeed so.
Well, Gare, let's hear a chorus or two of one of those sentimental English ballads for the season. After all, Christmas, as we know it, began in England.
Red, white, and blue, what does it mean to you? Surely you're proud, shouted aloud, Britain's awake. The Empire too, we can depend on you. Freedom remains, these are the chains nothing can break. There'll always be an England, and England shall be free. If England means as much to
That was from our first wartime Christmas, 1941. Well, let's have another song, Bob, to set the stage for what's to follow. Here's that great Joe Stafford.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
It doesn't show signs of stopping. We brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
When we finally kiss goodnight, how you'll hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home you'll be warm. Now the fire is slowly dying. We'd better be goodbying.
But as long as we have to go,
let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
finally kiss goodnight. How I hate going out in the storm.
Well, if you really hold me tight,
all the way home I'll be warm. Now the fire is slowly dying. We'd better be goodbye. But as long as we have to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Joe Stafford.
Yeah. The next number from our anthology of other people's Christmas shows. This is a program that first went on the air for NBC in 1930. And it was copied by just about every other dramatic show ever on the air. And believe me, for 1930, it was it was indeed very elaborate. Its first star was Don Amici, and finally it was done by Olin Soule and Barbara Luddy.
Did it all take place in that little theater around the corner from Times Square?
It did indeed, which was funny because the show originated for many years in Chicago. Had the same sponsor for years.
Campana Italian Balm.
Uh-huh. And here is the First Nighter show from 1945.
What is your name?
Josiah, son of Obed, son of Asa, the son of Zacharias, the son of...
Hold. Caesar does not ask who your ancestors were. Give me only your name.
Josiah of Bethlehem.
The name of your wife?
Leah.
Your trade and the number of your children?
I am a shepherd with 7 children. My flock's in the hills nearby, and
Enough. How much property do you own?
My house and 50 sheep.
That is all. Who is the next? And what is your name?
Joseph, the son of Jacob, the son of Matan, the son of Eliezer.
Hold. Must every Jew who registers recite his lineage to me? Did you not hear me say that all I wanted was your name?
But I am descended from the kings of Judea, from the great King David.
I know. So is everyone in Bethlehem. But the Roman emperor cares nothing about that. This is a Roman census.
I'm sorry.
I could have been through the enrollment by now if you Jews were not so garrulous. Come, is this your wife?
My name is Mary. I, too, am of the line of David.
Your voice sounds tired. Have you come far?
From the town of Nazareth in Galilee.
Sit down on that bench and rest a moment.
Thank you.
Now, Joseph, what is your trade, how many children, and how much property?
I am a carpenter. I have no property except my tools and the animal on which my wife has ridden from Nazareth. There are no children, as yet.
Very well. That is all.
Pardon, my lord, but we have no place to sleep. There was no room at the inn. Can you help me?
The town is filled with those who return for the enrollment. I can do nothing. Oh, wait. Do you see that man talking with the soldier at the roadside? That is Simon, a rich merchant. He has a large house. He may have room for you.
Thank you. Come, Mary.
You have found a place for us to rest?
We will ask for a place to rest. Pardon, sir. You're the merchant, Simon?
Yes. What do you want?
I am Joseph of Nazareth, and this is my wife, Mary. The Roman governor said you might have some room in your house where we could sleep.
I have no room. The governor and his men are staying with me.
If you only had some small corner where we could rest.
My wife is very weary, sir.
I have said that my house is filled. You may sleep in the stable if you wish. That is all I can do for you.
The stable?
Let us go there, Joseph. We have tried so many places.
A stable, Mary? It is not what I would like.
We must be content. Lift me up to the saddle. There. If you lead the way, the little beast will
Oh, Simon. I'm tired of listening to this babble. Claudius, take my place here. I'm going to rest.
Taking the census is an exhausting task, my lord.
Everyone in Judea must spring from Bethlehem. People have been pouring into the town all day.
Bethlehem is the city of David.
And everyone who is registered here claims descent from him.
That is true. And the dream of every mother of David's line is that she will bear the king of Micah's prophecy.
Micah's prophecy?
Have you never heard it? But thou, Bethlehem, though thou be little among the thousands of Judea, yet out of thee shall come forth he that is to be ruler in Israel.
Oh, so that's the prophecy, eh? You're all waiting for this new king.
Many believe he will come, my lord.
And you, Simon? What about you? Do you believe it?
I? Oh, it is rather the shepherds who talk of it.
I see. You're very careful, Simon. Perhaps you fear Herod, your king.
Herod despises the prophecy of Micah. He hates Bethlehem.
It would be well to keep this legend from him, then. But tell me about the carpenter and his wife from Nazareth. Did they find lodging?
I offered them my stable.
Your stable? Was there no room in your house?
The
How
stable
about
is good enough.
that? The little town of Bethlehem, as heard on the first nighter of 1945. Bob, did you ever take a Christmas vacation? Because if you did, you will recognize this next routine. This is someone we've heard just once on the Mighty Memory Mobile, a very funny man, trying unsuccessfully to cope with everyday things.
Well, Gare, that could be a lot of guys on radio.
Well, then I guess I'm not doing him justice. He was a brilliant satirist. He did wonderful parodies. He was great. So here trying to take a Christmas vacation is the one and only Robert Benchley.
Now, let's see if I've got everything in the trunk that's on this list. Blankets, overcoat, woolen socks, muffler, gloves, quilt, blankets, sweater, Mackinaw blanket. All there, I guess. I hope we like hot springs.
Darling.
Yes, dear?
You better hurry. The train leaves in an hour. Have you got the ticket?
So Jerry, my office boy, is picking him up for us at the Union Pacific. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benchley. This is Jerry.
Yes, Jerry. Did you get the tickets?
No, I got lost. How do you get to the Union Pacific?
Where are you now?
I'm at my girl's house.
Then ask your girl.
I can't. She doesn't live here anymore.
Bright boy, Jerry. He'll find Union Pacific if it takes a whole vacation. That must be the man for the trunk. All right, I'm coming.
Are you Mr. Benchley?
That's right. You here for the trunks?
Nah, I'm the piano tuner.
Well, I didn't send for you.
You got neighbors, haven't you?
Listen, I'm in a hurry. We got to catch a train.
Okay, then I'll get started right away. I'll just run up the scale.
You better open the piano.
Okay.
Darling, are you whistling?
No, I'm playing the Ouija board. Look, we're in an awful hurry.
Oh, all right.
Well, I'm in a hurry, but it isn't life and death.
This piano's a tough job. I'll have to do this after my vacation.
Where are you going?
Hot Springs. So long.
Hope he sends me a postcard. Now to get on with my grip. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Benchley. This is Jerry.
Have you found the station yet?
No, but I got a good clue.
A clue?
Yeah, I'm trailing the locomotive.
Well, if you can swim, we'd go on a cruise. Oh, we'll never get out of here. I'm coming. I suppose you want the trunks.
Certainly not. Don't you remember your wife's Uncle Harry?
Oh, yeah. Whatever became of him?
It's me. I'm Uncle Harry. I know how busy you are, what with packing and preparing to go away and packing and preparing to go away and packing.
I'll be preparing to come back soon.
I just thought I'd come over and give you a hand. I thought you'd need a hand. I'll give you a hand, a hand.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I think we ought to hear more from Robert Benchley on the Memory Mobile, Garrett.
Well, we will, I promise. Right now we have a Christmas show that tickles me so much. Variations of this were broadcast, for decades, I'm sure. Bob, this is the show that brought the country to a standstill back around 1931 and lasted on the air in one way or another until 1960.
I have an inkling.
Well, back in the 30s, this show was piped into the movies. Otherwise, they would have played to an empty house. If you wanted to steal a car back in the 30s, you did it while this show was on because nobody would be outside to see you.
Well, this must be the routine at Christmas of Amos and Andy.
The choir continues with the Lord's Prayer.
Well, now get under the covers, honey.
Daddy, could you get some Christmas music on the radio?
Why, darling, this is the very best Christmas music you could get. There's going to sing the Lord's Prayer.
Oh, I've been saying the Lord's Prayer with Mommy. She's been teaching it to me.
Yes, I know she is.
What does the Lord's Prayer mean, Daddy?
Well, it means an awful lot. And with the world like it is today, it seems to have a bigger meaning than ever before.
But what does the Lord's Prayer really mean, Daddy?
The Lord's Prayer? Well, darling, I'll explain it to you.
Oh, will you, Daddy?
Yeah, now you lay down and you listen.
All right.
Now, the first line of the Lord's Prayer is this. Our Father, which art in heaven. Now, that means Father of all that is good, where no wrong can ever dwell. And then it says, hallowed be thy name. Now, that means, darling, that we should love and respect all that is good. And then it says after that, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Now that means, darling, as we clean our hearts of all hate and selfishness and fill our hearts with the love, the good, the true, and the beautiful, then earth, where we are now, will be just like heaven.
That would be wonderful, Daddy.
Then it says, give us this day our daily bread. Now that means to feed our hearts and minds with kindness, with love, and with courage, which will make us strong for our daily task. And then after that, the next line of the Lord's Prayer is, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Do you remember the golden rule?
Yes, Daddy.
Well, that means that we must keep the golden rule and do unto others as we would want them to do unto us. And then it says, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Now that means, my darling, to ask God to help us do and to see and to think right, so that we will neither be led or tempted by anything that is bad.
Amos and Andy and Christmas time.
It was funny, the precise feel of the pulse of the public that Amos and Andy had. They could be funny. Indeed, they were funny most of the time. But when they turned serious funny, they did it with a deft touch. And it kind of choked the nation up.
Yeah, we heard Sherlock Holmes and Baby Snooks and Lionel Barrymore. I guess we've heard everything but the Christmas show of the Clico Club Eskimos.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Believe it or not, folks, those were the Clico Club Eskimos.
That's what they were. But, Bob, that's just an overture for the pièce de résistance for this Christmas anthology. What we've been longing to hear all night. What our listeners have been writing to us about all of these months.
All right, Gare, I give up. What is it?
Well, Bob, how long since you heard the Mighty Allen Art Players?
Must be at least 20 years.
Well, we got them. Here they are. The Mighty Allen Art Players with their Christmas show of the year 1937.
This is station NGNG, folks. Our next program will be...
Just a minute, folks. Here's a bulletin from the Radio News Bureau. A rumor has just reached us that Santa Claus will not ride this Christmas. Unconfirmed reports ride throughout the country that Santa Claus is on sit-down strike. What's going on in Santa Claus's igloo? Stand by, folks. Assassinated Press is investigating the trouble, and we hope...
Is this the Santa Claus igloo?
Yes, I'm Mrs. Claus.
I'm Phil Beat of the Assassinated Press. I'm here to check on this rumor that Santa Claus refuses to ride this year.
Oh, I'm glad you come. I've been fighting with him all week, and he refuses to budge.
Well, where is Santa Claus now?
Oh, the old fool's in the next room sulking. I'll get him. Hey, Santa.
Oh, it ain't no use coaxing, Ma, or you ain't going.
Come on out, stupid. You got company.
Oh, well, what's on your mind, son?
Well, I'm from the Assassinated Press, Santa Claus. Now, what's this I hear?
No, I ain't riding now.
But this is Christmas Eve. Trees are lit up. Millions of children have hung up their stockings. The whole world is waiting.
Well, regardless, I ain't riding.
Ain't no use, mister. He's stubborn.
No, I ain't stubborn neither. I'm sick of being Santa Claus, holding the bag every year.
Well, you must have a reason for quitting.
I got plenty of reasons.
Well, will you talk for the press?
Might swell, I guess.
Well, now, Santa, why won't you ride tonight?
Well, I'll tell you, son. It's a long story. I've been clausing it for 1937 years, son. I've been a-bringing presents, toys for kiddies, loud neckties and handkerchiefs for grown-ups, every Christmas trying to spread joy. But my efforts down through the ages has been a bit of disappointment. My intentions has been good, but my reward has been nothing but grief. The first trouble I had was in ancient Rome. It was Christmas Eve in the court of Nero. The emperor was playing a violin concerto.
Is your emperor the best fiddler in Rome, lackeys?
Yea, Nero.
Is your king a master of pizzicato?
Yea, Nero.
Shall Nero play an encore?
No, Nero.
What, you dogs? Begone, hypocrites. Clear my throne room. Scat! Now I can play my violin. I'm alone.
Ho, 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 ho.
What's this? What fell out of my chimney?
Merry Christmas, Nero. Merry Christmas.
Who are you, lumpkin? The chimney sweep?
I'm Santa Claus, Nero, bearing Christmas gifts for your majesty.
Gadzooks, another basket of fruit from the Rome Kiwanis Club.
No, my gift is a trinket rare, so rare it hasn't even been invented yet.
Bodkins, what is this tiny golden box?
It's a cigarette lighter, Nero. Turn yon little wheel.
Gramercy, it flames. It flames.
Merry Christmas, Nero.
Oh, it flames. Rome has scoffed at my fiddle. Nero will have his revenge.
Hey, watch that lighter, Nero. You're setting fire to the draperies.
I'm setting fire to all Rome. Revenge!
Look out!
Revenge.
Nero! Be careful, Nero! So you see, son, if it wasn't for Santa Claus, Rome wouldn't have burned.
Well, I know that, but...
Here I was trying to spread good cheer, and what did I get? Singed whiskers.
But that was 2,000 years ago.
Nero was only the start of my trouble, son. A few centuries later, I had trouble in a little country to the north of England. That Christmas, I had a present for a young poet. I peeked in the window. He was writing a sonnet. His mother come into the room.
Bobby? Bobby? Aye, Mother. It's time you were to bed, lad.
I'm composing, Mother. Have you no heard I'm a poet?
A poet at your age. Rubbish.
I am Robbie Burns, the youngest poet in the Glen.
Are you concocting a limerick, lad?
No, it's a song, Mother. Listen. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny brae, where me and my true love were ever wont to...
It's no finish.
I can't think of a rhyme for bray.
Pay.
Pay in a Scotch song? Are you daft, Mother? 'Twill be last on the hit parade.
Well, you'd better find a rhyme in a hurry and go to bed. Composing on Christmas. It's evil. Good night.
Good night, Mother. Oh, a rhyme. Bray, play, day, Chevrolet.
Ho, 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 ho.
Who are you coming out of that chimney?
I'm Santa Claus, Bobby Burns. Merry Christmas.
What's your business, Red Britches?
I'm Santa Claus, Bobby. I brought you something here.
A rhyming dictionary. Hootman, let me look. Aye, pray, ray, say, stray. Where me and my true love were ever wont to stray. Aye, a bonny rhyme, I've written a gem.
Merry Christmas, Bobby.
How much are you asking for the rhyming dictionary, Claus?
It's Christmas, Bobby. I'm giving it to you.
The Mighty Allen Art Players. That was a treat.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Not much we can add to that one, I guess.
You're right, Gare. We didn't do a Christmas show, but we sure heard some nice acts from other people's programs. I guess now we ought to put the reindeer back in the stable.
Why not? This is Gary Moore.
And Bob Maxwell.
Wishing you all the very best.
The Mighty Memory Mobile is produced by Cinema Sound Limited, New York.
Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.